Sweet November. It is November 3rd today. Had a really eventful sit this morning. We had some cold temps finally start to move in. I was using the decoy this morning and had some young bucks come in behind me. They're about 150 yards away, and I decided I'd try and rattle, see if they would come in and I could get some good footage of them. Well, while I did that, the field in front of me where I should have been paying attention to, one of our really nice shooter bucks crested the hill at 45 yards. We got a little bit of footage of him, but I don't know if he made me out while I was moving or if he crested that hill and was standing there for a couple minutes and just didn't like what he saw with the decoy. It could have been either of those. So he ended up blowing and taking off, and then he kind of just stopped at the top of the hill and walked into the woods. Definitely a mistake there on my part and something to learn from. It's really windy this afternoon and it's gotten hot. Action slowed down. So I took the setup down, and I'm gonna actually move into a couple of these bedding areas that I've wanted to sit for a couple of years. And I'm gonna move in and clear out some leaves. We've got a lot of leaves falling down and everything is crunchy right now. I'm gonna be coming back down here with my brother in a couple days, and I wanna have more options for us to move around and sit at. I'm gonna get in there, clear out a spot. Maybe one of us will sit at it in a couple days when we're back. So that's what I'm gonna be up to the rest of this afternoon. So you guys can see this is the trail that I kind of cleared out. You can tell how I moved all the leaves here. And this is what it looked like earlier. And it goes all the way in, down this creek, and then up the other side to where I'm gonna set up. All right, it is November 5th. Last night it rained pretty much all night. This morning Luke and I sat, got drizzled on most of the morning. Still a cool sit though. We had pretty much everything but a nice mature deer move through. A couple flocks of turkeys come in, a couple younger deer move through, and then 2 coyotes that came in that Luke actually got drawn back on. Just didn't have a clear shot. So we just got back from lunch. It's still kind of hot here in these afternoons and slows down quite a bit. With this past rain, I think I'm gonna try and slip into that bedding spot that I had cleared out a nice path for a couple days ago. It's a spot I've wanted to hunt for years. Here in Iowa, we shotgun hunt as well, so that consists of deer drives, and I've had to drive and be the pusher, or the dog as we call it, on that pass every year since I've been a little kid. And there's this spot in it that goes from a bedding area. It's thick, you've got to crawl hands and knees, and there's some really nice cedars that kind of open up. Really great bedding, and then it moves into a transition kind of funnel, for lack of better terms, where all the deer trails kind of converge to one because this timber strip thins out and there's a steep ravine in there, and so they're forced to this one spot. It's thick, it's thorny, and it leads to another bedding area, and these 2 bedding areas are only about 80 yards apart. And the tree that I kind of picked out in there is actually in this transition spot. Hopefully this rain will have helped, and then a couple days ago going in there and clearing out those leaves. I love these type of sits because if something happens, it's gonna be quick, it's gonna happen fast. Gonna have to be on the A game, have everything ready at all times, and kind of just have a head on a swivel between these 2 bedding areas. If something gets pushed and comes running, I probably won't have many windows to shoot, probably 1 or 2 spots to be able to shoot a deer up in this tree. Luke's going back to the spot we were at this morning. The wind's perfect for this situation. We just had 36 hours of rain. Hopefully we don't bump anything. It's the spot that big one came out of 2 days ago. Man, I'm excited. I've wanted to hunt that spot for quite a long time now. It's the best time of the year to do it. So we're gonna try and get in there nice and tight on them tonight. See what happens. So it's about 2:45. I just got up into the tree. Took me a lot longer than anticipated. When I was hanging my first stick, I had a doe, a fawn, and a spike come running through. The spike was kind of pushing one of them, and they came at like 5 yards from me at the base of the tree. So I just hugged the tree, stayed there. They passed through, and then I got 1 stick hung, my second stick hung, and then another smaller buck, like a little 6-point, came running through, and he was just kind of on a light jog. So then I get everything hung up, get my camera arm set up. Another buck comes through. He looked like a small 8-pointer. I finally just got everything hung, got my bow set up, good to go. It's nice. It was nice getting into this spot after clearing out those leaves the other day. It made the walk nice and quiet. It's not far into here, but it is thick and it's covered in leaves. So those deer that moved through were definitely bedded pretty close. And I wanted to get everything set up. I think stuff's gonna start moving here soon. We'll hang tight for a sec and see. What is that? Oh, buck. But he did it perfect. Oh my god. Oh, that's the one I saw 2 days ago. Oh, he was right here the whole time. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my gosh. He literally did it perfect. This is a 6-yard shot. I only got halfway up in my tree because I got deer coming earlier. They actually came. I'm sitting in between 2 bedding areas where I thought he would come. He was bedded 25 yards from me in this thick cover right here. He just stood up and I saw antlers and I'm like, what the heck? I grunted twice. He just came and he was gonna go away. He was gonna go into the other bedding area. He decided to come right at me. Pitch shot, just, oh. I mean, I haven't looked at the footage, but like, it looked just beautiful. It sounded great. But I didn't hear him crash. I didn't see him go down. It's thick over here. I've wanted to hunt this spot for years. Oh my gosh. So here in Iowa, we can shotgun hunt. That consists of a lot of deer drives. Long story short, I've had to push this section since I was a little kid. And every time I come through here, you have to come through on your hands and knees, and then it opens up a little bit and all the trails kind of converge. And then you have to go back to crawling on your hands and knees. It's like 2 bedding areas converge into one, and I figured during the rut he might just be running back and forth in here. First sit in here, 20 minutes in. Let's go. Luke's sitting about 200 yards from me where we sat earlier. It's only 3:08. I'm gonna give him a call. I'm gonna just let him know that we just shot the big one. You see anything?
Yeah, there's a spike right.
Dude, I just shot the big one. 6 yards.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, dude. He's bedded right under my stand at 25 yards. After I had gotten all set up, he just stands up, I grunt at him, and he comes right over. Walks this trail 6 yards.
So you were already up in your stand. He was just bedded down, didn't they?
Oh yeah, he had no clue I was here, but
oh god.
But I mean, I haven't looked at the shot. I think it's a decent shot. It sounded like perfect lungs and everything, and I didn't see any. I think I see my arrow actually right now. I didn't see any arrow sticking in him. It looked like a full pass through. He was quartering to me, which is my only like kind of fear, yeah. But I think I hugged it right in there. It happened so fast, and like he stood up and I was like, oh, I couldn't even see his antlers. I was just like, oh, there's a deer, and it looked like a bigger body through this thick, you know, the vines and stuff. And so I'm glassing, and then he picks his head up, yeah. And it's him. And he was gonna go out into this field to the south of us. Like you can probably see it from your stand.
So
in between
the finger you're in and then the finger that I walk?
Correct. He was gonna go up into that. I grunt, yeah. He turns around, and then he starts going to like the southeast into that deep, thick stuff. And he's right on the edge of it. I think I got this all on camera. I grunt again, and then he starts coming this way. And I stop him. I literally had one window and I just got done clearing out a branch. It's broke right in front of me. I got him to stop right in that window, and it seemed like just like a money shot.
That's nuts. Yeah, look at your arrow or whatever and see if you can, I mean, if it looks like a good shot, then I'll get down and charge my phone for 30 minutes and then come back up here or something like that.
Yeah, that'd work.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Let me know.
Okay, see ya. All right, now I gotta call my buddy Shane. We always call each other whenever we shoot something, so gotta share the news. Dude, what are you doing? What's up?
I said, did you hammer one?
Yeah, dude, that
the one you sent a picture of?
That big one that
trail cam?
that big one that I sent of a trail cam picture.
Oh yeah?
Dude, I moved to a different spot. Finally, literally just got everything set up. And then he stands up 25 yards from me in this thick thorns.
Oh, he's just bedded?
He was just bedded here the whole time.
Oh.
I could barely see him with my binoculars, and then he lifts his head up and I'm like, oh, that's a shooter buck. Like that's a nice buck. And so I grunt and he comes back, but he's gonna go to the bedding where those does went. He had kind of made a little loop, and so I grunt again so he could realize where I was at, and then he came this way. 6-yard shot, dude.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yeah, and I had like just cleared, check this out. I had just cleared this window to shoot. You can see this branch I broke?
Yeah.
And I literally shot him right there through this.
That's exciting. Dude, isn't it so cool grunting at him and watching him just feet line at you?
Dude, I mean, it was so odd. Like, cause one came through here grunting, the 8-pointer. He grunted twice, but it was like a very soft, weak grunt. It happened so fast. From seeing him stand up to grunting twice to making sure my camera was in focus, on, recording, and then like get out of the way, because my camera's in the way right now of where I would shoot him. I had to get my camera out of the way and get drawn back and everything, you know, like that's just, it's tough, but it was freaking sweet.
Yeah, especially at 6 yards too. That's so cool. I can't wait to see it.
I know, dude. I mean, I honestly don't even know. I don't even know what the antlers, I don't even know which one it is. I just know it was a shooter. I know, I wasn't gonna start psyching myself out staring at some antlers.
That's a pretty damn big problem to have whenever you don't even know which big one it is.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Hopefully it doesn't take too much track. And I guess last thing, did you get it on camera? Were you able to get it on?
I haven't looked yet, but I put it right where he would be. So I'm hoping I got it. I haven't even paused and looked at it. I probably should, and then I'll probably look for my arrow.
What about that? That's sweet.
One of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, had a bunch of deer come running through, and then when I called him, he had deer in front of him too.
Yeah, I was videoing a deer and I get a phone call. I thought it was Dad to ask if we had seen anything.
Yeah.
I just like ignore it and then it keeps going. So I finally look at it and it was you. I answered it and you were just like, "We seen anything?" I was just like, "Yeah, I'm videoing a deer right now." They're like, "Oh, I shot one of the big ones." And then right as you said that, I look up at those deer just like busting off.
Dang.
But no, that's sweet. Oh my, that's the big one. I don't know which one that.
I couldn't tell.
That's the big one.
Really?
The like, yeah. That's no way. Yeah, 'cause he's got no right brow tine.
My only worry is it's quartering too.
Oh, you smoked him.
It's a good shot.
Look at it.
But
So the camera angle is obviously more quartering than what you were.
yeah, because I was out to the left.
Yeah. Complete pass through. That's the Bondo.
Really?
Yeah, no, that's the big one that I had over on the south side.
So not the one I saw 2 days ago.
Not the one you saw 2 days ago.
Huh.
Correct. Yeah, he's probably like 170s. That's a big motherfucker. Oh my god.
Well, thank you for all the work you've done.
Yeah,
for
no
it.
problem.
This kid's put in more work than anybody I know that deer hunts. This property is about 3 hours from where we live, and he's in school right now and working. He's made time to come down here. He's done food plots, he's got mineral sites, mock scrapes with ropes. I'll put up some of the pictures, and he runs trail cameras here. My dad and I came here last spring when I was down here turkey hunting, and we actually cleared out some of these trails, which helped. I mean, he's done so much work, and then I get to come in and shoot a deer.
Shoot the biggest deer on the property.
But obviously,
Oh, that's sweet, though.
thanks to him and all the hard work he's done. So my dad just called me as I was walking back in here, so we're gonna give him a call back. He was hunting with me here 3 days ago and 2 days ago. He was officiating a college game today for football, so he wasn't able to be out here, and he definitely wishes he could have been because we had a cold front come through.
Hi, this is
Luke's actually hopping back in his tree, which I don't blame him. We've seen so much deer activity today. We'll go track this together, me and you guys, and try and see what we come up with. Oh gosh. Luke's friends are messaging me now, so he must have already told them. But they're counting their chickens before they hatch. We still gotta find this guy. All right. We'll see you guys in there. Pull my arrow out here, see how it's buried. Stick her in the quiver and go and try and find it. Been tracking blood, and he seems to have dropped down into this creek bottom. It's kind of a big ravine here behind me. He's dropped down into that, which is kind of what we expected him to do. Blood goes down into here. I just glassed some blood down into there, so we're gonna get down in there, start weaving through. It's a lot of tight corners, so Hopefully we pop around one and he's laying there. We've had good blood this whole time, and it's just within these last like 15 steps it's kind of started to thin. He actually got back up on this ridge here. I hope he stays in this thick stuff because it ends pretty quick, and I'm hoping he just bedded down. We're just gonna keep slowly picking away at this and moving quietly. Oh, good spots. Oh, holy cow. He's like 10 yards in front of me. Oh, these are the moments, dude. These are, oh, man. This is cool. I wish more people got to experience this feeling. Everything played out just perfect. So I'm gonna text my brother. And like to do it solo, but like still get to share the experience with you and share the experience with my brother, because he's on the same property, just in a different area. My dad was here hunting this with me 2 days ago. Like, it's so cool. It's so rewarding. We're gonna get up next to him and we'll go check him out with you guys. Oh my gosh. So he actually stopped right here, bunch of blood, and slid down. He's got some cool character. Holy cow. By far the biggest buck I've ever shot. Shotgun, archery, whatever, you name it. Holy cow. Man, he's got splits coming out of the back here. A funky break right here off of his base that shoots backwards. Gosh, that's funky. He's got some more coming off the back. You can see he's been rubbing. He is wide. He holds his mass all the way through. Such a cool, unique buck. Middle of the day, bucks were cruising, and that seemed to be when I saw the most deer movement in the thick stuff. So out in the open, mornings and evenings, we were seeing a lot of movement, and then during the day, they were all going into this thick stuff, pushing does around, trapping them in beds. Some of this stuff's so thick and so far that they weren't running them far enough to get them out into the pastures where we could see them. So the move paid off. It's so cool to see like everything kind of come together on a hunt like this. All the work my brother's done, the work my dad and I did last year, and then this year even leading right up to the hunt. I knew I wanted to be able to hunt that, and getting in quiet was key. So I made that path. Man, it happened so fast tonight. I hope I was able to portray a decent bit of the story for you guys. That's what I enjoy doing with filming this, be able to look back on it myself, hopefully encourage some people to get out or ask some questions on here and hunt themselves. Because man, there's not much like this, and our archery season's just getting kicked off. And then shotgun season's right around the corner. So for whitetails, this really kicks it off for us, our group, me and my friends and my family. I couldn't be more happy. Gosh. It's so cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this so far. If you guys want to subscribe, that would help me out and my friends and what we like to do. What a day, November 5th. It'll go down in the books for me. Thank you guys for watching this and hanging out with us. Cool. Oh, let's go. Man. For those of you that are curious and maybe geek out about it a little bit like I like to, I'll show you the shot placement. I did clean it off, had a bunch of foamy blood on it, and I wiped it off for YouTube purposes, so hopefully, you know, whatever. This is entry wound. So as you can see where the deer's laying, that's entry wound. His shoulder blade comes up into here, so I just tucked it behind the shoulder blade. I probably could have been a little lower. I tried to stay right over that front foot. I like to hug that shoulder. That's why I shoot a certain setup I do. I could have been maybe a smidge lower. I'll show you what the exit side looks like. So this is what you're looking at for an exit wound. About center mass. With a 1/4-2 shot, you're kind of gonna get that. I could have probably been, you know, a little lower. It would probably gave me a better blood trail. It would have dumped everything kind of down. But man, I'm taking it. He made it 60 yards. Can't beat that with a mature buck. I really only had one shot in this spot, and so it's either going to be a perfect quartering away shot or a little bit of a 1/4-2 shot, just like he was. I took what I was given, felt confident in that situation at 6 or 7 yards. I had already set my camera to that window, which was nice. He just had to move into place and I had to stop him in time. And after that, all I had to do is trust my mechanics. All that testing with broadheads and different arrows and fletching my arrows, and geez, oh man, that's another rabbit hole for a different video, but it's cool to see it all pay off. It's a mature old buck here in Iowa.